show 287. I think that's where we're at. We're almost at 300. No, I'm just kidding. Show 122. What's going on, everybody? Happy New Comic Book Day Eve. Yes, you know what day it is when I say that. It is Tuesday. I got some bad news. I got some good news. But whether it's good or bad, I'm joined by Mr. Rocksteady. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just settling into the new place still. Back from Ontario.
Did you do some painting? Was your background like the same color there?
No, I'm still in the same jail cell.
All right. Same. Is Morgan around? Like, is she hearing this?
Yeah.
No, but what's going on, man? It seems like forever I saw you. I saw you like what, a week ago?
And it was short too. We didn't spend much time there at all.
No. I feel like I spent more time with you in Edmonton, which I did. So we might have to revisit, meeting again a little bit sooner than later. The bad news is I got to see you. Well, that wasn't the bad news. Sorry.
Whoa. Rewind that.
The bad news was I was supposed to get together with BC yesterday because he was in Toronto, but it did not happen. He said, "Noob, I never want to see you again." He was very mean. No, he just got stuck up in work stuff, so it sucked. I wasn't able to see him. So yeah, that's shitty. We're gonna have to, make it up, I guess. Maybe go to Montreal or meet halfway somewhere. But it was shitty. So that's why I know that there's no pictures. I know some people were like, "Hey, are you hanging out with BC?" There's no pictures because I didn't meet up with him. So just so you guys know. But yeah, we got a jam-packed show, New Comic Book Day. We're gonna touch a little bit on the comic news, and then of course, we'll probably touch on a little, I don't know, DC stuff, because it seems like DC has got a little bit of drama. We got some Jonathan Major stuff, and then John Wick 4 is just destroying everything and anything. So we'll see what happens. But let's Miami sucks. Okay, Cruz, just settle down. You guys will notice I am wearing a New York Yankees jersey that my guy Mr. Rocksteady got for me. That's right, with the World Series patch 2009 baseball season around the corner. So I had to rock my my New York Yankees. But let's go say hello to the chat, Greg, shall we?
Let's do it.
Dan Delatorre with the gold for the U.S. Well, like us? Hold on. Is it like the gold for us? Is that what you're saying? Like the
Trophy
gold for us? Or
you must be talking about the newbie verse.
Yeah, that's
gold
true.
That's true.
Or are you talking about the US of A? Gotta specify, man. TKO silver for the retro Silver Surfer Retro Legends action figure. You're poking. He was Greg. So he is, I think he collected his in Brampton. He was actually lucky enough to find at the Dollarama 2 Silver Surfers and a Storm for the Marvel Legends.
Okay.
So basically a wave that we've not seen yet.
I went cruising through Brampton and they still had wave 1 when I was in Ontario.
A lot of shelves around here too have the wave 1. Not a lot of stores had the second wave, Thor, Black Widow.
But I think it gives me hope because some of the first waves are just hitting now. So for those who don't know, watching in the US, the dollar stores here got the retro Marvel Legends figures.
Yeah.
So we're all trying to put together a run of them.
And yes, I know what you're thinking, guys. Will we sell them? Yes. Go on my Whatnot. I will be selling them for $25 a pop. US. Buy 2, get 1 free. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to people. Or would I? We'll see. But so TKO, I told him, I'm like, if you find any more Silver Surfers, let me know. I will definitely grab them. And I'm going to be in Mississauga on the 23rd of April. So, maybe we can collect there. But yeah, I'm hoping that this new wave, man, because they're kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. They are very cool to have. And like, once I have them all, I'm maybe going to make a display, maybe right here or something. And just kind of like, they look cool, right?
So I've been putting them in a bag and board, and they fit in a silver bag and board with the room, and then you can put them in a short box.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to check it out. Mr. Empire Comics, what's going on? Mr. Tuesday, I get my books Tuesday.
Mr. Early Bird himself.
Yeah, Mr. Early Bird himself. He actually put some info out there. on a few books already. So make sure to go check him out. He's got a lot of good stuff. Phil's in the house. What's going on? The Foil, Just Cruise. Miami sucks. Just settle down, okay?
Like as a city.
No, he's
just the Heat ever since LeBron left.
Yeah, he just hates Miami Heat, man, and settle down because Boston hasn't done anything. So just saying. I'm early. Newbie better start on time. Of course.
You should have known better.
Spine Tix is here. I heard Newbie is the king of shorts. I'm still the grasshopper, man. You're
shorts and flip flops.
Yeah, you're you know what? At that Mississauga show, I'm probably gonna be in shorts and sandals. What's going on, RP? I'm gonna be seeing you shortly. Newbie is the king of wearing no shorts. Whoa. I wear shorts most of the time, actually. Mr. Wesley's in the house, our third, possibly fourth member of our Terrificon drive to Terrificon, Connecticut. Yeah. Wesley's going to be coming with us, so that's going to be awesome. Mr. Bleeker, I just was able to go see him really quickly before having to do the show, so big shout outs to Bleeker. Pearson's here. Good evening, gentlemen. Cheers. This cold one's for you. Man, I wish I had a Corona. I just have water. Damn it.
Same thing.
So yeah, same thing. Whoa, wait, no, come on, man. Be good. What is going on? Mr. Nowhere Bounds here. So yes, we got a lot of people in here. So yeah, let's get it going, guys. Lot to get through. So, Greg, as always, before we start, show 122, light, medium, heavy. What are your thoughts on New Comic Book Day this week?
Medium. I think I pre-ordered a few, but there's a couple bangers in my opinion. But
bangers,
yeah, not crazy heavy.
No, I don't know, man. I'm a little.
We're just not getting much new stuff at all.
So here's the thing, and I don't know if it's a COVID thing. Like I maybe I don't know. Who knows? But the last 2 years, 2020, 2021, 2023, or sorry, 2020, 2021, 2022. So yeah, 3. We usually get something like really hot, like New Comic Book Day, like explodes. Last March, it was Captain Carter #1, the 1 in 25 exploded. We all know what happened with that book, things like that. I can't remember. The year before, it was like High Republic stuff, Star Wars, like it just blew up. March was the month. This month came, went, which in whatever order. I think it came and then went. And we got nothing. Like we didn't really get like a hot book that kind of like destroyed numbers or kind of went through that threshold of like that $1,000 mark, right? Like you actually look at it. I think the last big book was probably like the Tosin one, right? That like really just took off, past those 4 figures. Like that was pretty much it. It's been kind of quiet on the New Comic Book Day front.
There's been some, but not like that. I know, like if you're double ratio, you're lucky these days.
Yeah, so we'll see. Newbie drinks American beer. Get him. What? Corona's not American?
I think it is.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Gee, calling it beer is a stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's settle down. Corona and lime. Well, we'll see. All right, let's get the show going, guys. Show 122. Greg says it's a medium week, so let's take a look. First up, we got Back in Time Comics, CGC authorized dealer, hundreds of pre-sales reward programs. He's got an app that actually works. You buy stuff there, you get points, you can use it towards more stuff, free stuff. Make sure to check him out on Facebook because he has sales, live sales, flaker sales, everything. You might be surprised what you find. He's always doing it for the community. So make sure to go check him out. Back in Time Comics on Instagram, whatnot, which I don't think he uses, and Facebook. And of course, he's in the house, but Mr. Bleeker, comic book pressing, $10 a press, $5 a clean. He is the man at the Turner Crest Flea Market on Sundays. So if you're in the area, make sure to check him out. And that is it, guys. Let's get it going. So New Comic Book Day. You guys know how we started off. We always try to show some love. I say we, but it's mostly me because Greg hasn't really agreed with my pick. No, wait. Greg agreed like 2 weeks ago. So
they haven't been horrible.
No, I think this one is like going
like really with Dynamite. Like having to pick one can can be painful to begin with. Like there's not even a good one most of the time. So
Does Newbie need an umbrella straw with his beer? No, hell no. I don't even drink it with lime, just so you guys know. Well, Greg, I don't think you're gonna agree with this one.
it's so hard.
I think I'm going back to my roots with this dynamite pick of the week. But my dynamite pick of the week is Vampirella Year One Cover 0. Now, there is a different cover with the exact same image, but I love the colors that they used. Very Miami Nights-esque here. It is a $3.99 cover, so you don't have to break the bank. But this one was just the one that really caught my eye. Kind of dig the colors, the detail in certain areas. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
At least you picked like a Perillo cover, which I'm cool with.
I thought for sure Tim would be here for this one, so I thought, hey, this is going to be a win. But he seems to never be here when I pick those.
It's a cool cover.
Right?
I'll give it that. But you get how many Vampirella series a year? Really? Like you got to be pretty into Vampirella to keep going on this.
Yeah, this one would look great as a virgin as well.
The cover.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
I think so too. I like the art. I'm a big Perillo fan, so
yeah, a lot of people are, right? So yeah, it's a good one. Now this is a classic Newbie cover. You damn right. Nice. I know how he was saying that. I could feel it. What's going on, Chris? How you doing, man?
Hello, buddy.
Yes, the colors. Nice choice. Me like it. Yes. Maybe I'll see this one in a dollar bin in the April 23rd show. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we should change this segment to boobs from noobs.
Boobs from noobs?
Yeah.
Boobs from noobs.
Boobies for newbies.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something.
Like boobies for newbies?
I think you're on, but hey, I love women, power of the women. So I don't, don't want them to think I'm just about the boobies, so boobs.
He picked this cover for its personality.
Yeah, that's it. Moonlit is in here. What's going on, Michelle? I saw some of the pictures from the King Kong. That was a lot of fun. Can't believe I missed it. I gotta go out there for those, man. Those shows just seem to be so much fun. So yeah, the colors and other things definitely pop on that cover. Yeah, like the story, right? All right, well, let's get into it. And yes, we're starting off with DC, but we got Dawn of DC Action Comics 1053. Here's why it's important this week. It's a first appearance of Necrohive. There we go. I'm skipping this 100%, but we know how people get with first appearances, especially when it comes to DC stuff. There's not one that's kind of really taken off, popped off, whatever. Haven't really ever been on Action Comics, nor do I think I ever will be. I don't think the cover's cool. I don't like the art. I don't like anything about this. So the fact that there's a first appearance, if it's a $25 book down the road, I'm okay passing on this. But Greg, what are your thoughts?
It's kind of switched gears. It was Batman and Batman related books that we were getting first appearances every week, and it's kind of switched to the Superman Action Comics kind of deal here. But 1053, that's kind of cool that they're reaching those kind of numbers. But even on the cover, it looks like he's like one of those big babies throwing a hissy fit, like,
Yeah, okay. Honestly, that's exactly where I was going with it. Like, it just looks like that. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, and it also has like that old school vibe, right? With like the blue and like just the way the belt is and stuff like that. Like, it is going for that old school look too.
Like the TV show look.
Yeah, I could care less for this. I don't know. I always just thought Superman was stupid, and here's why. Because you made him so perfect, but the fact. Do you remember there was that skit with Jimmy Kimmel where he literally had like Ben Affleck and Henry, and they're like, yeah, you're Superman, man. And he's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yes, you are super dude. Like, you're not even hiding. Like, you just wear glasses, but like, you are Superman. And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, that skit always will live infamously in my head. That's just how I think about it, man. Like, how do they not know it's him?
That's your big beef?
I don't know. I just never been a Superman fan. I don't think I ever will be. I'm a Green Lantern fan when it comes to DC. So, say what you will, but yeah, I don't know. I just never liked Superman.
Well, okay. So in my opinion, what makes a superhero great is their imperfections and their relatability, right?
Yeah.
So if you're perfect in every way, there's like no relatability unless you're basically newbie, right? So for the rest of us, there's just it's not relatable. Like people like Deadpool, people like the Joker, people
Iron
because
Man.
some people like Iron Man. Um, but exactly with Iron Man, like he went through the drinking phase. He self-conscious. There's a lot of things about him that are relatable to a lot of people, and that's where I have a hard time with Superman.
Yeah. I just don't think I just don't get the buzz around Superman. I never have. It's just never been like Superman and Flash are two characters that I just have never really cared about ever in my life. And I don't think I ever will. Like I see Flash stuff and I'm like, meh. I don't know. Even when you look at like some of the early stuff, his first appearance and like just like the big keys for it, I'm always like, ugh, I wouldn't spend that kind of money on that. I'd rather just have like 3 Tales of Suspense 39s, So
Well, he's like basically the first superhero, right? So I think that's where the advantage is, and that's why those books go for so much. I think like the generation who likes Superman is tailing off, right? I
yeah.
think no young kids are growing up saying like Superman is my favorite. They
Yeah.
all know who he is.
No, I'd agree with that, and I think a lot of people would agree as well, unless you're like super anti-biased towards it. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm okay skipping on this book, so not one I'm grabbing. Saving that $3.99. Sticking with DC, we got another first appearance, and that's why it's getting a little bit of some talk. But we got Doom Patrol #1, or sorry, the Unstoppable Doom Patrol #1, first appearance of Beast Girl. Again, just falls flat for me. Like I really don't care about this. I've never really been a Doom Patrol fan. Could care less about the Beast Girl, to be honest with you. So it's not something that I kind of want to read on, but I know a few people are getting it. What about you?
Well, there's a lot of hype around Doom Patrol right now. Beast Boy is actually a pretty cool character, and there's 2 new characters in this. There's Beast Girl and Degenerate or something like that. So I like kind of for DC first appearances. I do like them coming out of a title like this more so than the Batman or the Superman.
Is that the girl on the bottom there? The
Bottom
pink?
left. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's first appearance and first cover, right?
looks like it.
Nice. Okay. And is that other degenerate person on their cover as
I
well?
don't know who it is.
No. Okay.
Like I see Negative Man and Elastic Girl. So
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. I would assume that this one is probably going to be on the shelf. But yeah, I just didn't really chase it. So Chris is saying that Doom Patrol cover looks like it was drawn by someone's asshole.
they just threw a bunch of paint on there and they farted, and that's what you get.
Damn, man. Whoa, they're just like Jesus. Okay. We'll move on, I guess. But yeah, saving the $3.99 for this one. Moving on. Jeff, Greg, you had you wanted to talk about this. Now, this is the cover A. There is that variant that's kind of got the Jaws. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Jaws one, right? So, but he's on the top, I think.
It's not really Jaws. Well, kind of inverted, but yeah. It's a cool cover. So it's really interesting. So when I have discussions with my friends who have children of the age where they're starting to get into superheroes, I always ask like, "Oh, who's their favorite superhero?" It's always Miles. It's always Ghost Spider, like interchangeable between those two. But what's interesting is they always seem to mention Jeff the Land Shark. And yeah, believe it or not, like he's in the kids shows. People love Jeff the Land Shark. His first appearance is in that West Coast Avengers, and that is a tough book to find.
West Coast Avengers, what?
8 or something like that. Like a newer series.
I'm gonna find it.
Okay, good luck. I was helping my friend even track down like a 9.8 or a high grade one for a few months, and we couldn't even dig one up like on eBay and stuff like that. Like this book, and not a lot of people are talking about Jeff, and I think it's simply because a lot of people are still trying to get it. So I'm not opposed to I'm getting the A cover. I'm getting the variants as well. I think it's a super long-term hold. Like, don't expect it to flip in the next few months kind of deal.
Yeah.
But 5 or 6 years down the road, I think this is going to be a cool book to have.
Oh, don't tell me that, man.
And same for the same reasons, like you're not talking about it. You have no clue really what's going on with Jeff the Land Shark, and most people don't, right? And I think that's where books sneak by the radar.
So when I first like saw this cover, I immediately went to like some stupid like Sharknado like vibe where I was like, could you imagine the Avengers coming out fighting somebody like this, and then there's just a fucking shark there? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I get your like. I
But they
didn't
have
know
like King Shark in DC, but this is like just a four-legged shark that's
Yeah.
cartoony. But that's also my vibe, right? Like I like the Squirrel Girl aspect. I like the Jeff the Land Shark.
See, the aspect that I like about it is the fact that you said that you couldn't find one and like it's hard to come by. So now I'm kind of like,
The
all right, I
first
want to find it.
appearances, right? So
Yeah, like
people,
I always take it upon myself to like find some of those where I'm like, I'm gonna find it, and then like I just obsess over getting it. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. I mean, I don't have kids, so I wouldn't know this character like 100% or more so than maybe somebody else. But something to be on, something to check out, I guess.
so they did a bunch of Jeff the Land Shark variants as well recently. Like Marvel did, where it was like a C cover and it featured Jeff the Land Shark. But this is his first solo, and like he really hasn't been front and center in many comic books like he is on TV.
So I think Mr. Just Cruz just messaged me with 2 copies of his first appearance.
Yeah, that's a sick book.
Listen,
Cruz is a killer out there, man.
Cruz is, and yeah, Greg, you witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
Cruz is one of my favorite people to hunt with. He's very knowledgeable. We have a system. We work very well together. We have fun doing it. But he is one of the best,
I've seen the stuff he
hunters.
posts.
And it's crazy because Greg, you've seen him where he's just kind of like this. He's got like books in his hands, and then he's like, this is this, and like this is why, and this is it, but like this one, and then like he's so calculated. I love it. I like when his brain is going, man, and he's like, you see the gears rotate. You're just like, okay, man, okay.
And he has that database in his head. Like he wasn't going on his phone and checking stuff out. Like he knows.
No, he knows, and that's man, that's what I love about him. Yeah. So yeah, okay, this one might be one of the
work.
Yeah. I mean, he is a Boston Celtics fan, but whatever. Yeah, that one's a good one to be on the lookout for. All right, this one's got a lot of attention, but we get the origin intro, first appearance of the Lost One, which getting closer to release date being tomorrow. I think information came out yesterday saying that he was basically the first one, basically the one that created the Beyonders, things like that. So now people are thinking, okay, maybe this could be something. Did we miss something? But people who have, got the Empire hookup where they get their book early, even Empire was saying, make sure to pick this one up. There's a few variants. There's a Scotty Young one that looks basically just like this. I didn't get it, man, because I didn't want to fall for it. I think the character looks a little stupid. But
the Beyonder looks stupid. Do you know what I mean? The Watcher looks stupid.
Captain America, Falcon.
Yeah. There's Americans in the chat. Be careful. That's their hero.
AOA's not here. I haven't seen AOA yet, so I think it's fair game.
It's interesting, right? Like, and I like the mega villain aspect. And to be often, mega villains don't often flop. Like, even look at like Null was kind of maybe the last mega villain we saw, or mega superior being kind of deal, and that really stuck. We don't see it often. They usually introduce like these side characters or whatever, but this could be a big deal.
So for me, there was a lot of things when I first saw this that just kind of just came across as no. You got She-Hulk looking basically like a vampire. You got Captain America there for no reason. You don't need him there. Iron Man looks terrible there. And the way this guy looks, it's almost like he's got 2 wind turbines from planes as his like suit thing, whatever. Like, do you get that vibe, or is that just me?
It almost, to me, it looks like a fish is regurgitating him.
Oh yeah, okay, like even
Right?
that. Yeah, I
That's
see
the
that guy.
vibe I
Yeah,
get.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see though, right?
The Kang who got defeated in Ant-Man 3 will become the Lost. LOL joking. Maybe. I don't know. There was just a lot of things going wrong with this one for me. So I was just like, man, I'm okay. But then I saw Empire's like, comment like you might want to go get this. And I was like, oh shit. Did I miss out or whatever? But I don't know. There's just a lot here that
Yeah, a
I'm
lot of
like,
extra, right? Like Vancouver Comic Junkie is saying, like a Liefeld kind of thing, just like too much, like needs
yeah.
more pockets. And also with that, like all those characters and only drew 1 foot. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And like,
still
and I didn't even get to Black Panther there. Like the eyes look like almost like they're like in the middle, like you know, like it just looks weird. Thor looks weird. Like just everything about this. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's
yeah,
just me hating on it, but yeah, it's just there's a little too much. I don't know. That's the Beyonder on the cover, not the. Oh, sorry. Oh,
okay, but still.
but even still, like that doesn't. I don't know. That doesn't look like the Beyonder that I.
Like his face looks like the Beyonder, and that's what I was guessing. But that costume is a little much.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not digging the fish eating wind turbine, suit. It's just not. There's no marketability. I don't know if I'll ever see somebody dressed up as that at Comic-Con. But the last
You've
time I
said
said
that
that,
before.
I met Wonder Man. So
Oh, when I saw Wonder Man, I'm like, dude. I'm like, give me your phone, give me your phone.
I literally went up to him, and the guy was so happy, and he's like, "Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah." And then I was like, "Yeah, I've never seen a Wonder Man before." He just gave me the dirt. He just gave me a weird look, like, okay. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. What Cruz is saying? I'm gonna keep an eye out for this book in the dollar bin in a month or so. Yeah,
Always.
it's possible. It's possible. All right, Alex Ross time. So a lot of good ones have come out. Obviously, some of them more popular than others. Venom, arguably a top 3 fan favorite, cult following for a lot of people. So this one was a no-brainer. BC kind of put me on it where like some of the more popular characters, when it comes to the Alex Ross stuff, I mean, they hit 25 to 40 bucks. I mean, graded in 9/8. They have a good price tag for them. Venom fan, I grabbed 2. I'm gonna try my luck at a 9/8 CGC, but there is some value in them. I'm digging it. I don't know. I also got the Scotty Young one that comes out, I think next week. I think it's like Venom 6 or something like that.
Yeah, that's
I
the
think I'm
one.
gonna send them both off the CGC just for personal use. Like I kind of dig them. So yeah, we'll see. What about you?
So these timeless, at first when they kept going them, I thought they were a little played out, but all of them are really well done, and they do have their own angles and creativity to them, I find.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done any symbiotes yet. This is the first one, so it kind of checks off a different box too for people who just want to put together the symbiote set out of this, because this set is getting pretty extensive. It's kind of becoming like the hip hop covers or the Scotty Young stuff, where there's just a whole lot of them, or what Knock has tried to do with the headshots. But I do like this one. Anytime with a Venom where you get a unique cover, it's going to be one of the more popular ones. I don't think this will ever drop below cover, so I think it's a very low risk play. I do think for grading purposes, it's going to be a tough one with the black and the white. So
I think so too.
I think white's risky for color rub, and then the black is risky for showing imperfections. So I think a lot of people are going to send them away and be disappointed with their grade.
Well, I'm pre-screening mine.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to go right now.
Yeah, especially with moderns, man. There is no need to get like I don't want to get a 9 on a modern. There's no way I want a 9.4, 9.2. Don't even bother mailing it out to me, please. Just give me my money back. Yeah, I only want to see 9.8s when it comes to moderns. Even 9.6 is just kind of like ugh. And maybe I'm being a diva. I don't know, but especially when a book comes
for
out,
most moderns, you're lucky to get your grading price back at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And Greg, we kind of talked about it, just before we went live too, is the fact that like you buy a book, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99, whatever the case may be. By the time you actually pay to get it pressed, cleaned, send it off to CGC. If you're gonna fast track it, if you're gonna pre-screen it, if it's a flip book, you basically are like coming up even. So at what point are you just doing it to just be a flipper, right? Because realistically, you're just going dollar for dollar. You're gonna come up even. So
yeah. Basically you've just become a collector, right?
exactly, right? And like I don't want to send something off, especially if I'm gonna be selling it or flipping it down the road.
Well, here's the
Make
risk
$1.
is without a pre-screen, if it does come back, like you're losing that money. You're better off because, like you said, even it costs you $10-15 more, you might as well just buy the 9.8.
Swag. Don't fall for the trap. Once you get one of these, you'll need to get them all. Speaking from experience, this is the only one that I've gotten. I never got the Iron Man one.
What was your favorite? Is this your favorite one you've seen?
No, I would say Surfer or Iceman.
So Surfer's badass too because Surfer's a first appearance.
Oh, is it? Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah. And
that was that one came out in 2020, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier ones. So you
but
said
that one
as well. That's a cool one.
But that one, that's the perfect example. I think that's the one that BC said. Like Silver Surfer, super popular character. A lot of people love him. 9.8 in that book was like, I think like 180 Canadian, 200, somewhere around there. So
but it's
like
a first appearance, right? So
yeah,
you have to separate that from it a little bit.
Yeah. CGC wait time is like 5 weeks now. Yeah. CGC is going super fast now.
No, it's back up. It was like we were getting 3-week turnarounds in Canada.
Yeah.
For a little bit there.
Oh, wait, it's back to being shitty?
No, not shitty. It's like still really fast, but it's like
because I'm not fast tracking. I'm just sending. I'm using the fast track money as actual pre-screen money. I don't want to send anything anymore.
And with the spec game kind of ended, you don't need to be the first one to get it to market anymore, right? No. And I think that was different before. And in Canada, we never had a chance at that.
Yeah, no. It always amazed me, right? There was a few times we went to me and Cruz. We would go to like the Toronto, Monte Carlo comic show. It happens like 2 or 3 times a year, and then the Mississauga show. And we were always amazed at like a book that would come out like say 2 weeks ago, and then we go to the show and it's literally like right in our hands, like 9.8, and we're both looking at each other like, how is this here? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
I've done the same. It's like I feel like I just bought this book off the shelf.
Yeah, so it's kind of scary sometimes, but I don't know. We'll figure out. I'm trying to learn that secret, but I just know that the last 2 times I've gone the CGC route, it is literally taking like fucking forever to get books back. Like it is just unreal. So we'll see. Dan, CGC should have expanded with different locations across the country and Canada. With 500 million they got from Blackstone.
Yeah. But it's probably good they didn't, because now with things slowing down, a lot of those locations probably would have closed. They decided to do some weird distribution thing in Canada, which just adds an extra step, more likely for your book to get lost and fall down in the shuffle. Still best to ship it directly to CGC from Canada. But yeah, I know people have been getting their books caught up at the border. Basically, what the border is saying is you need to prove that you had these books before and it's not a purchase, because they're trying to ding you for the tax money for the duty, right? So I know a local shop to me, they had sent stuff and they had to send all their information of what they submitted and follow up with that. So there's a few extra steps when you're in Canada always.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, that's the thing with CGC too. Like, and the way the market is right now too, it's like if you're sending a spec or FOMO book, like it seems like it's only like a weekend thing, and then by Monday it's like, all right, what's next, right? And certain things aren't moving as well. Like we can all say like, oh yeah, keys, but like there's a lot of keys that there's just like so many of them out there.
Yeah.
Like Facebook Market, Craigslist, or Kijiji, right? Like you go look, it's full of New Mutants, Hulk 181, FF48.
It's really true. Like you go to a show and there are books you're guaranteed to see, right? Like those some of the Fantastic Four books. 181 you're bound to see. New Mutants 98, like Ultimate Fallout 4. There was more books, more UF4s at the show we went to than anything else.
There's
Like
a whole
that.
shelf. A whole shelf.
Yeah.
What was the price tag on them? I know those guys, but what's the price tag on them?
I didn't even bother looking.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when you go to a show now, you are gonna see them like we saw in Toronto, right? Like you can find the books, no problem. It's just people somehow still want to sell books at like 2020 prices, and I'm not sure how. Like, just to be, just personal, and I can't remember if it was Greg or if it was Cruz, but I remember even talking about this when me and Cruz left on the ride home. Point one, first appearance of Sam Alexander. They were selling it at the show for $600 in a 9.8.
Yeah.
But if you go on eBay, the most expensive one is $425 with recent sales of $250.
I have a nice raw copy on eBay right now for like $40 that nobody's even sniffing.
But But I just don't understand how, with the way technology is, people having all these, different apps, different links, different this. You can see it on YouTube, you can see it on, and you're just like, how are you selling this?
It's hard to keep up. Like when you have 3,000 books, you don't want to reprice them for every show. But if somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'll give you this," and it's like, even if it's a 600 book and they're like, "Hey, I'll give you $400," you should take the time and be like, "Okay, let me see what they're going for now." But they just get offended and automatically assume that you're lowballing them when you're actually trying to give them a fair offer.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I feel bad sometimes, like being like, "Hey, look," but like some of them are like interested to see because, like you said, 100%. But then others are just, they take it so offensively, and it's like, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I also don't want to pay $300 more than what the book is actually worth. Whatever happened to that saying? You know how everybody always says like, "Hey, collect what you love," right? But what happened to the, "Hey, a book is only worth however how much somebody wants to pay," or whatever? Like, that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, I think you gotta, and some people like to have the books on their shelf. Like the 181s are always going to be overpriced. The Ultimate Fallout 4s are always going to be overpriced.
Listen,
for a book like that, a 0.1, I don't think it's just a show book that you want to flaunt at shows, right?
Mm-hmm. Listen, I got one quick story before we move on. And I got nothing bad to say about these people. Zero. Nothing. I don't. If they're watching, they're fans, they watch it later, whatever. I'll see them at the Mississauga show. I think they go to Mississauga. If not, I'll see them at Monte Carlo. And I'll even say, but like Guardian Comics, they have big ass books, like super big ass books.
Yeah.
They are overpriced. They have a Tales of Suspense 39 1.8 that they've had for 2.5 years. The guys try to sell it to me. I went all the way there to see it twice, once with Ozzy actually. And the guy was always just upping the price. And then even at a show when I saw him in Toronto, I said to him, because I was getting desperate, I said, "Hey man, how much do you want for that book?" And he was still adamant, saying 15,000 Canadian. At the time, the book was 10,000. The last sale was like 10.8. And he was just having it. And a lot of the books are like that for them, man. Like they have great books on the wall.
But those are books to get attention, right? People are like, "Oh, wow." And then they go over to the book and then they buy something else. So if it's like their PC book, you know what I mean? Like I would price it up too. If it's like my personal collection and you're just having it there to show it off, but everybody has a price.
Yes. But see, RP knows, because I always bring it up. They're always there, and I'm always like, how is it 15,000? Like, how? And then they'll be beside another booth that has another one, and it's like normal price. And you're just wondering, like, okay, it's like when you go to fill up gas, right? 2 gas stations across the street. Why would you go pay $1.51 if across the street is $1.50?
I think there are a few books like that. I often see like ASM 300 often overpriced. 181s are overpriced, but like I said, I think it's more of a museum piece, but they have your FU price, which if you pay it, sure, like I'll just go get another one kind of deal. But
I just don't think there's a lot of comics out there like the big, like, sorry, not big ones, because like if you actually go after, like, say, a Hulk 1. It's like a very difficult book to find. Like, there
Yeah.
are some, but like it's difficult. But like when you talk about ASM 300, FF 52, FF 48, you
There's a
know,
lot.
there's a lot of them. Like
Even
every
181s, there's a ton out there.
so yeah, and that's where I was going with it, right? Like Hulk 181. It's like, how many people have it? I can go on Facebook Market right now, and there's like at least 15 to 20 people that have one, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see. Greg, how much are you selling yours for?
I think we have it around 13,000.
13,000. That's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna have like a Boxing Day sale on it, just in case? I don't.
Well, for you, I'd add 5%.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, what's that? 15,000 for you, Boxing Day.
Thanks, man. I really do appreciate. I do appreciate that. Ozzy saying some dealers can't come to the realization that some books you've lost on make up the difference elsewhere. Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's what we're all doing, right? Like that's. I mean, I've
And
got
there's
books.
no way I paid this for that book, and yeah, things have come down across the board, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Swag saying, I think some dealers just use wall books as billboards to sell their bins. 100%.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
100%. And sometimes, you know what, guys? Cruz has kind of shown me this, and Greg, you too, like hunting with you and, you know, visiting with you and hanging out. Like, always go to like the small, like the guy that's only got maybe like, you know, one bin or something. He's got like a small shop because you never know what you're gonna find. I found a lot of gold in those like booths, and it's worked out pretty good for me. So
If they're on somebody's wall, they know what they have, right? Like,
yeah,
it's going to be hard to get a deal on a wall book. Bin books, they aren't kept up as much, right? So it's easier to find a deal in there. And when they get it by a whole run of something, and odds are they're going to slip through if they get lazy and just throw $5 on each book or something like that. Like, if you're hunting, you want the bins, you don't want the walls.
it's true. All right, let's get into some mentions before we get into the news. Greg, any mentions? I know you wanted to talk about the Jeff book.
Yeah, the Jeff book, and then Jabba the Hutt, that Tales from Jabba's Palace or whatever the new run is.
2 first appearances, correct?
There's a 1 in 25 of that. That's pretty badass.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the book to get. I think that's one book that'll go above ratio, maybe even double ratio. People are sick of Star Wars right now. They aren't ordering a ton, especially if it's Jabba's Palace kind of deal. So I do think that book's going to be the hot one.
And it is 2 first appearances. I just can't remember the actual first.
Every Star Wars book is 2 first appearances, so I'm not too worried about that.
All right, let's get into some comic news. And I will mention that we won't be talking about Liv Taylor and the Captain America 4. So that is right off the table. Also, don't think we're going to be talking about Jonathan Majors because it's resolved. And I really don't want to touch that stuff. So
yeah, sensitive, and there was a lot of back and forth information. So
yeah,
everybody else can read up about it. There's not much conversation to have on it.
So let's get into it. And you know, we were talking about Deadpool, and we were talking about multiverse, and we were talking about all these characters. And if you know have been watching a lot of YouTube, or if you've been reading or social media, anything comic, you know that there have been a lot of rumors about Sabretooth kind of showing up in Deadpool. Well, we now are getting more and more characters that are supposedly supposed to be in it, leading us to think that, well, we're going to be getting like another multiverse thing. Now, how long these people are going to be in the movie, if they're going to be in it, it's up in the air, right? But I'm not sure if Deadpool 3 is going to go that route of like just in bringing random people. I could kind of see it like kind of him going through like a multiverse thing and then seeing certain things, but
I've heard so much coming out of this Deadpool movie. Like, there's big push that like we're hearing about Sabretooth, and that could be the crossover with X-Men. I've heard like Agent Bob, or whatever his name is, Bob Dabalina. He's going to be in it. And this just seems interesting because like they just killed like Professor X.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, is it a time traveling thing, or are they just basically slowly killing off all their old franchises?
And we already have like a Reed Richards too.
Yeah, and like, is Professor X going to be like the Kenny, where they just kill him in every episode and he just comes back? I think that's what's
Or he
happening.
could do like 2 movies that I still don't understand how they're getting a second part, but like I Am Legend, Will Smith is returning even though he died. Oh, and Extraction 2. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth died, but yet they're coming back. So maybe that's the new thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's a prequel. Yeah, there's either time traveling or multiverse stuff if this is happening, but
I love how like there could be time travel in movies, but the second you say like, "Hey man, look at this picture from like 1938. I think this guy is a time traveler." People like are ready to like tell you you're like a flat earther and you're crazy and this and that.
yeah, but also if somebody came up to you and was like, "Yo, dude, I got superpowers, but I can't show you," you would say the same thing. It's a movie, of
I
course.
think there was a skit about that on like Family Guy or Family Guy about that, but it was like Jesus. It was like, dude, I got superpowers, but I can't show you. And then it just goes into like this like skit of it. So, but we don't want to offend those people. But yeah, I don't know. Greg, I'm going to be honest with you. I could care less if any of these people are in this movie.
Yeah, that's not what Deadpool should be about. And if they
No.
are, it's going to be a fraction of a second. Like,
I don't know. I could care less. I want them to like stick true to the character. Give us what you advertised. Give us Deadpool versus Wolverine because that's what everybody wanted. Give me a bad guy that is not Juggernaut. For the
give me
love of
Sabretooth there.
God,
That's
don't
cool.
give me Juggernaut again. And
Yeah.
I think I'd be happy. I just don't want it to get down this road of like the Spider-Man thing where it's like, there's just so many characters and that it's like, nah, I
wouldn't
want
mind
away
the
with that.
Hawkeye angle. That would be kind of cool, but I think that's off the table now after his accident. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go, but we never know where Deadpool movies are going to go.
This hasn't even started filming yet, if I'm not mistaken, right? Not like I don't even think it's written, nothing. It's just
No, I think I'm pretty sure it's been written. I don't know if it started filming yet.
oh come on, be nice. He was the first one. I didn't mind him. I just think that those stories were terrible.
No, I don't like him either. You need like the Silver Fox kind of idea, like experience. He's just not the same. He's not Reed Richards.
John Krasinski.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. For those of you that think I don't like Batman, I don't like DC, you're lying because I show some love. But HBO Max reveals brand new suit of Tim Drake's Robin in Titans. Now, this is a very affordable book. Yours truly, have posted many videos in the past of finding long boxes after long box of Batman 436. It is not a hard book to find. Now, finding it at 9.8, you can find 9.8s on eBay for about 150 to 250 Canadian. On some auction sites like my comic shop, they were going for a pretty expensive penny. But Tim Drake, I think it's very undervalued, even though you can find the book. Again, like I said, there's a lot of them, just not a lot of them in 9.8. It's a pretty penny. Anytime I've put this book up on Whatnot, I was getting like $8 to $15 US for it. I sometimes felt bad because I am a good person, but I did feel bad knowing that this book around me was everywhere and people were paying that. It was just crazy. I think one time one guy on Whatnot paid like $24 for one. But it's the HBO Max. I'm not sure how they're going to do. Like, I don't think it's going to move the needle for the book. I think down the road is where this book is really going to take off once we get into that, James Gunn building the family and all that stuff. But that's kind of where I think it's still a long-term thing for me.
Like Tim Drake is kind of cool, but like nobody's a Robin collector. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody's like, oh, I gotta get all the Robin covers. Like, did any Robin covers come out this week? Like he falls into that Wonder Man area, right?
No, there's gonna be one guy in the chat that's like, you know what? That's me, man.
Yeah. So, and I think he was such like a silly character, like just such a weenie for so long. That nobody.
Hey, tell me how you really feel, man. Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, unitard, but yeah, I don't know. And that book is so print. Like there are so many of them. Like literally in every town, you'll find 5 to 10 for $5 or less kind of deal.
Yeah, I was finding them for $1, man. That's why I felt bad. I think to some people when I sold them like at a really crazy price, I had just added like a double or something, just because like I'm a
And
good
don't get like, I don't think it's a crazy, like $10 or $15 isn't a crazy price, and is probably pretty appropriate for it. But like, there's so much supply, like the demand is never going to outweigh the supply on that book.
No. Yeah. Did Rocksteady just say weenie?
Yeah. I said Robin is a weenie.
I'm still waiting for like a Robin collector to be like, hey man, like you're probably tomorrow morning when we talk, I want to know. The first thing I'm gonna ask you is, hey, how many Robin hate mail did you get? So
yeah, I'm gonna open up my Instagram. And it's just gonna be like, yo, you talk smack about Robin?
Yo, what you got against Robins, man? All right.
And like, even if you think like Robin is named after such like a crappy animal, like that's such a like, it's not a tough animal.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That costume def makes me want to stuff him in a locker.
If you didn't have Batman around, we'd take his lunch money.
Jesus. All right, let's stick with DC. And, something that I am very, 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 very excited for, and I don't show it, but Blue Beetle star George Lopez teases that the trailer is coming soon. Now, everything is wrapped up. Everything is done. I'm digging this for that Latin vibe because yours truly is Latin, but I also dig this character. Now, I'm not the biggest Blue Beetle fan in the sense that I have his first appearance. That's a pretty expensive book, but I dig it, man. I really dig what's going on here. The only thing that scares me is I hope they don't go down the Beetleborgs thing. Like I just keep having this like image in my head that might be kind of how they go with this, and I hope it's not because
like the Beetleborgs, like the TV show, the kids.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I just
that's a totally different thing.
I know, but like no, just like the outfit.
Well, like a team of Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I just hope they don't go that way or whatever.
No, so I think this is going to be our first look into kind of the new universe that's being created. I honestly think they're coming out with a Booster Gold property to mix in with Blue Beetle. I'm excited for Blue Beetle. And I don't get excited about DC films, but this is one I really want to see.
Yeah. Wait, did you say this isn't one?
No, this is one.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to, there is an elephant in the room with this photo, but like that's kind of my thing. Like I've been doing that for a while. So like, I don't know, maybe we could work something out. They give me a free shirt, tickets to the movie, things like that. Maybe I'll stop. But yeah, that's the first thing I noticed was like the what's up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We still have no news. We don't have anything about like when it's going to come out. But I do think that, when the trailer drops, I think this one could be something that saves DC in a way, right? As long as they don't give us like the whole trailer like they did with Shazam. That's,
Oh, yeah, that hurt, eh?
Yeah, that really hurt. So, fuck it. Should use Zachary Levi for Reed Richards. Just never know. It's possible. Well, here we go. Let's go. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and let's go pretty much all DC when it comes to news. But speaking of Mr. Zachary Levi, seemingly confirms the reports that Dwayne Johnson nixed the use of Black Adam actors in Shazam Fury of God. So, obviously this has been stemming for 2 weeks now, but apparently, the end credit scene was supposed to be for the Justice League from Black Adam. We're recruiting Shazam in the post-credit. The Rock denied access and had to make a last-minute decision to add Amelia and John. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson attempted to restructure the DCU, centering him and Henry as Superman. The Rock didn't allow Zachary Levi to cameo in a post-credit for Black Adam.
This has become such a drama.
Damn, man. Damn. Like, if you don't like somebody, just don't talk to them. Don't, wow. But it makes a lot of sense. Even though wasn't Zachary Levi in Black Adam anyway?
Yeah, this
He was
is
in that scene because he was the son, and then he like gives them the Shazam power.
yeah, this is a whole different drama that's really unfolding here, and I don't know what to think, but they're done with Black Adam and they're moving forward with Shazam.
So, Greg, who looks like the bigger? I like The Rock. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I like everything he has done, stand for, where he came from. I kind of dig that story. Uh, does he come off as like the bad guy here or the douchebag? I guess.
Well, I don't think like he's used to being announcing the sequel at like the premiere of the movie. Do you know what I mean? Kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like he's not used to being told no. And he promoted that movie like crazy. Like he was doing like bar appearances and all this crazy stuff for the movie. And I think he feels like he was given the short end of the stick. So at the end of the day, he's not used to being told no, and I think this is where it's coming from. You can't be bigger than the universe, and I think that's the beauty that Marvel has created. You do have some big actors in there, but they're not bigger than the universe itself.
Yeah. And I think it's also about timing, right? Like the fact that this movie came out, then James and David kind of took over, and then they were kind of like, no, we don't want to do any of that. I think it was also a timing thing, right? Like maybe earlier on it could have worked that way, but I don't know. It's hard to. There's a lot of he said, she said stuff when it comes to like since the takeover and the Black Adam stuff. But the fact that Black Adam came out, when did Black Adam come out? Like November, October?
6 months ago, yeah.
Right? And we're still getting this information. It's like, holy crap. But we'll see. We'll see what The Rock says or what comes out. Remember when everyone thought having The Rock in the DCU was going to save it?
I think we had this conversation, and I might have been Chris who brought it up, where The Rock isn't an international superstar like we
Chris
think he is.
said that. Yep. Chris
Yeah,
was 100% with that. Yeah.
yeah, it's really come to my realization, like he isn't. He's a North American phenomenon, and even at that, look at the movies he's been doing. Like, what was the Jumanji one or whatever that was? Was the Jungle Cruise the Disney one?
I didn't
And
see
like,
that. Yeah, with Emily Blunt. Yeah.
yeah, and I think he more appeals to children at this point. Like, he's not the Rock we saw on WWF.
No.
Like
God,
with
no.
Stone Cold and during Attitude Era. So there's a lot of that, and with social media, like he doesn't have the charisma difference that I think we thought he did at one time. Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, I don't know where we go with this, and especially with like the Shazam stuff. Like, I was reading an article that said, the chick that plays Mary, Carol or something like that. I can't remember her name. She said she wants them to look at something in the terms of like a spin-off just for that character alone. Like they could do stuff with the Shazam stuff. I like Zachary Levi. I really do.
Yeah.
The movie's fun, right? I think that's one thing that a lot of people, I don't know, everyone's a movie critic, myself included. Like I give the reviews, not like hardcore. I just put my 2 cents. I think the movie was fun. Like it was fun. If you detach yourself from like buying comics, reading comics, whatever, liking it, specking this, that, whatever. I think we've been spoiled where we want too much and it needs to be perfect, but like there hasn't really been that many perfect movies. I think this one was fun, and that's pretty much it. Just
Yeah.
period. Move on. That's just it. I don't know. We'll see. All right. The biggest conundrum that we have so far in the last couple of days is Secret Invasion. Now, Secret Invasion was supposed to come out. It's not going to come out. No, it's going to come out at the end of the year. No, maybe next year. Marvel, we got to hold off because we just fired this crazy lady. Everything. When I put this up on Friday, it was saying that they were eyeing a June premiere. Then we got into Saturday, and I was reading different articles, and the article said that the show was actually going to premiere in September. Sunday rolled around, and I read an article on the same website that retracted that and said it's actually going to come out at the end of the year, sometime in the end of November. Yesterday, there's people taking pictures saying that it's shown up on Disney Plus as a June 21st release date. I'm going to go with that one because I think that one would be a little hard to Photoshop. So June 21st. So we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, May 3rd. Nothing in June as of right now because I think Loki's going to come out in September. And then Secret Invasion in June. So we're going to have some action with Marvel in the summer. So that's going to be pretty dope. June 21st. So at the end of it. What are your thoughts, man? Like, this is one that I'm super pumped for, super excited for. This one and Armor Wars were two that I was always circling when they announced these two projects. But I can't wait for this one. This one's going to be a mind fuck because, like, anybody could be a Skrull, anybody could be anybody. Like, it's just going to be interesting to see.
I think, especially with the galactic stuff, if they're moving away from Guardians of the Galaxy, I think the Skrulls are a perfect kind of fill-in. And within Secret Invasion, yeah, just about anything can happen. And we haven't heard any leaks or anything like that. And it's coming out in June. Like, there's been some Newbie Spec and some other Skrulls. Like, Meet the Skrulls kind of popped off for a little bit. That book has
dropped, by the way. That first
dropped huge. But yeah, I think this is going to be a super exciting project and kind of opens the door for a lot of avenues that we haven't seen before. I think we could even get the Thunderbolts introduced in this one, which would be interesting. Maybe perhaps the end scene, because what was the end scene with that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
It was Valentina.
Yeah, and one of the Skrulls, Frankie or something, right? At the end in the theater.
Was it that? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Falcon and Winter Soldier because that was the one with Baron Zemo, right?
Yes. I'd have to go back and check. I don't remember. I
know. I got to rewatch a lot of that.
Yeah. Especially now that, like, you could watch episode after episode after episode. And it's just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to open up a little bit more. And yeah, it's just going to be exciting because I think that this is going to be one of those shows that is going to have everybody on the edge of their seat. Not to say that Miss Marvel and She-Hulk didn't. It's just like that one was more, I guess, like, predictable and, like, I don't know, like, there was just a lot of hate towards it. This one, I think a lot of people are going to, like, really enjoy. It's going to be total left field.
Yeah.
And
I think we're going to get some surprises because we might find out someone was a Skrull the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Or do you think, okay, hold on. Take yourself away on this for a second, okay, Greg? People who spec or flip, do you think it's possible that we see characters introduced in this show and people go nuts for it only to find out that those aren't really the character? They're just pretending to be that character. You know what I mean? Like,
cheap thing, right?
Yeah. Like, I swear to God, people are going to be like, oh man, like Iron Man and like Human Torch are in this. And then we're just going to find out it's like just these Skrulls that, like, weren't really.
I could see Disney doing that. Like, oh, this picture accidentally leaked that they put out there and they were just a Skrull, right? Like, remember, was it like Captain Carter's shield when it broke and everybody was looking in the reflection to try to see what characters they could find?
Like, and people were like,
Disney didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, and people were like, oh, Deadpool's in it. And I was like, where do you see Deadpool? And Wolverine, things like that.
I think there's going to be a lot of misdirection before release. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think we're going to go a little bit crazy.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's a good one. That and Guardians, like, because Guardians is the send-off and Secret Invasion is like the new beginning, in my opinion.
I actually agree with that. That's something that I will 100% agree with you. Now, don't forget, March 3rd, please bring your tissues. I don't think the, theater sells them with a combo, popcorn combo. I don't think you get tissues with combo number 2. But bring your own because it does seem like, Greg, I'm just going to say it, man. I'm going to say it. I don't care, man. I'm
No,
gonna
it's
say
fine.
it.
It's all
But
right.
apparently, and I don't know this 100%. I've just had people tell me. Now, there's a lot of characters in this movie, but 3 people supposedly.
But it's so funny, right? Like it's kind of this John Wick scenario and what's going on the internet right now. Whereas like if people are animals or like animal characters, people absolutely care and their heart torn over it.
Yeah.
If people like rumor like Drax is gonna die or something like that, people are like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, I don't think that's a spoiler though, because I was
No,
actually
no,
having this
because it's his last
conversation.
film, right?
Yeah, I was having this conversation like a few days ago with somebody, and they got mad because somebody was like, "Well, Dave Bautista's not going to be Drax, and he's going to die off." And it's like, yeah, but like we all
He's
know
saying
that.
that.
Like he even said that. So like, there's one.
But I guess also with us, like not everybody is watching like Marvel news or comic book news, right? So
Yeah,
the casual fan who's not on the message boards that don't exist anymore, um, yeah, I think for the casual fan maybe, but yeah,
yeah.
we all know Batista isn't coming back.
Yeah. My guess is, and again, I don't know. I don't know. But I think my guesses would be Drax is obvious. I think Gamora and possibly Rocket.
No, no, I think Gamora's around. I think Nebula's around. I think Rocket doesn't die, but kind of leaves the Guardians to start a family with that otter chick.
Hmm.
I think it'll be more offshoot characters for a bit. Like it's hard to kill off some of those fan favorites.
Yo, imagine
Like
they kill off Adam
like
Warlock.
Robin, nobody's like I'm the biggest Drax collector out there,
Yo,
right?
there's probably
So
like one kid out there that's gonna grow up to be it, man. And he's gonna like find you at a con when he's like all grown up. Like you're gonna be like 60 years old, and he's gonna be like, "Yo, man, I used to watch you on YouTube. I'm Drax," and like he just like punches you or something. Like, yeah, it could happen.
bring it.
Bring it. Swag is saying maybe Hulk has been a scroll all this time. That would explain why he's been such a weenie. Ooh.
Yeah. The weenie craze is taking
Word,
off.
word of the day. Word of the day. Well, guys, that was show 122. Thank you so much for hanging out. Greg, aka Mr. Rocksteady. Let the people know where they can find you and what's going on your neck of the woods.
Dark Star returns on May 14th, so that'll be the next show that I'm setting up at. So that's my show that I put on, which is a lot of fun, and that's growing. Find me on Instagram. I'm actually we're slowly trickling in the CGC books that we got from that big collection. So our send off. So we have 4 back so far. We're still waiting for a pile of them. So I'll be posting those.
Do you have that Green Lantern book?
Not yet.
Damn.
Not yet. We got back first Spider Woman, first Alpha Flight, first Star Jammers, and the 181.
Nah, never heard of those characters. They're like 7. They're J-list characters for sure.
J tier.
Yeah, J2. I still got first dibs at that Green Lantern, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Just making sure. All right. Well, yeah, you guys can find them at Rocksteady Collectibles. Next Tuesday, we're going to be hanging out once again, show 123. You can catch me here, Newbieverse, maybe whatnot. Who knows? Maybe I make a return. And of course, guys, mark your calendars. April 23rd is around the corner. We're April this Saturday. So, 3.5 weeks until the big show in Mississauga. I'll be there. Cruz will be there. Wesley, RP. There's going to be a lot of people there. So if you're in the area, you're thinking about it, definitely, message one of us. Come out. It's a good time, good show, a lot of books. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. So, with that, any last words, Greg?
Peace out. Stay fly.
That's great last words. Yeah, Dan, I need 49 more. So 49 till 3K. So let's do it. That's my last words. All right. Later.
Peace.
Fuck Black Adam, man.